Our Collision 2017 coverage is proudly powered by Monster Products. Find the headphones and speakers that match your style at PLUGHITZlive.com/monster.
All right, we have our next guest here.
Hello.
Please introduce yourself.
My name is Steve. I'm the CTO of Ultimatum Incorporated. We are a crowdfunding platform for 501c3 nonprofits. We're a little bit different than the crowdfunding models that most people have come to know.
Okay.
We're sort of turning it on its head a little bit. We are micro donations based on real world events. So instead of coming to our platform and saying, hey, I'll give you $5 now, and then I'm probably never going to see you again, we want people to come in and say, hey, I want to commit to this idea. I have a vision that I want to push. I have a goal that I want to achieve. And I think that we can achieve it together by taking small amounts of money in mass and putting it towards these 501c3s. So a great example would be something like every time your local animal shelter rescues an animal, I'll give them 10 cents, right? And at scale, that turns into a massive amount of money. In fact, yesterday we were tracking tweets against Collision Conf for 10 cents per tweet. And at the end of the day, it was worth $68,000.
So you and Danielle were each responsible for
Was that a big number? Can you hang?
at least 60 or 80 cents of that. So.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah, 12 hours, 10 cents per tweet, 12 hours, $68,000.
$68,000.
That's incredible.
My head exploded.
Yeah, so the message that we're trying to get across is
you
that
kind of have to congratulate Collision on their social media
absolutely
interaction.
Absolutely.
At that point.
Yeah, it's huge.
It's actually pretty impressive.
All we were tracking was the hashtag CollisionConf tag, and we weren't even tracking the other tags, CollisionConf 2017, all these other ones. Just one tag, $68,000. So that's the message that we're trying to send, is that the power of the grassroots is actually massive. The people who don't have the money to engage with politics at some of the higher levels actually do. They just don't know it yet. Right. So that's the message that we're trying to send. We're trying to say, if you don't like the way that your tax dollars are being spent, you can defer your tax liability through 501c3 nonprofit donations. And you can put that money exactly where you think it needs to go.
Exactly. So all of the things that go on, because it's been a heck of a couple of years.
Absolutely.
In that particular conversation.
Right.
There's a lot of anger over where the government puts the money, and if you can, why don't you put it where you want?
Exactly.
If you like PBS, give PBS money. If you don't like PBS, give it to somebody else. Give it to an organization that you agree with.
I totally agree. And there's sort of two angles to this, where like the sort of like federally focused view on society says that the government should be supporting these things that we care about, and over the last 20 years or so, 30 years post Reagan, there's been a large push in the United States towards a more economic, like open market type model, and you see that now with Citizens United, which I sort of like hinted at earlier, where you sort of have to pay to play, and that sort of disenfranchises the voice of the people who would normally have representation that don't feel like they're having it anymore. And so if we want to play in that space, we need to either change the rules, because the rules have been changed to disenfranchise some of these smaller voices, or we need to find a way to meet them at their own game.
Sure. And removing them from the process is the way to beat them.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that it sends a pretty powerful message to any legislator when they have constituents that are telling them that they're deferring their tax dollars to nonprofits because they don't want to give it to the federal government.
Right. Because why do a couple hundred people that you're not involved with in any way, shape, or form deciding what charitable organizations are important? For me, for Michelle, for Danielle, First Robotics is a big thing for us.
Yeah.
I'm a state representative in Florida for it. Danielle was on a team. Michelle is a parent of somebody from a team, Danielle. So that's a big thing for us. And the government's not going to give money to First Robotics.
Right. Yeah.
They give money to AmeriCorps Vistas, which work with First, but that's not quite the same thing.
Exactly. And the other places where people are putting a lot of their money now to support like political causes or in these political action committees, they have all kinds of fun names for them: Spooky PACs, Shady PACs, all these other places where all this money is going. But those are not tax deductible donations. That's big corporate money. Those are the 1% players.
Right.
And the people who who don't have the speech anymore need a way to get their voices heard while at the same time not breaking the bank, right?
Right.
And if they can't, I think the majority of us, and I mean the people here, like even here at a place full of entrepreneurs and investors and startups and all these other organizations, I can send this pitch to anybody here, and everyone understands that this is about democracy, right? That's what this is about. This is about democracy.
Right. I love this.
Okay.
I am so glad that however we got you on the show, we did.
Thank you.
Because
I'm really glad to be here as well.
Because this is something that's a big thing for me.
Right.
I hate seeing money go to organizations that waste it.
Yes.
Which happens a lot. I hate seeing money go to organizations that don't deserve it.
Right. Yeah, that's actually one of our challenges.
There's somebody out there who's pulling strings and getting funding to go somewhere. What was it? The solar company that the government gave like $1 billion to, and then went out of business like an hour later.
Yep.
I hate seeing money go to waste.
Right.
It's a finite thing. There's so much of it out in the wild.
Right.
We can only do so much with it. Let's put it in places that matter.
There are certain camps in the United States right now that think that we can just print more when we run out, and that's also part of the problem, right? Is we need to sort of like engage with people politically and economically.
Just means faith, right?
Yeah.
Well, we used to be backed by gold, but now we're backed by our faith, right? So.
Yeah.
I like you.
Thank you. I'm having a good time as well. This is actually my first media interview with regard to the company.
Is it?
This is number one. Number one. We came out of stealth mode 2 weeks ago. We've been sort of iterating on this idea for about a year and a half.
Okay.
All right.
My two founders and I, we lived together in the same house. We sort of built our own incubator, right? And we got together and we said, you know what? We're all sort of like-minded individuals. We're all big dreamers, right? We want to. None of us are the type of people that come into a company and are keen to be an employee at the company. We want to be leaders. We want to be, we want to move the ball forward. And, I think all of us now are at a point where we're saying, what's the next path in my career? Do I become a manager in someone else's company, or a director in someone else's company, or do I go and actually try to do something that's going to change the world, right?
Sure.
And you know what? It's a big thing to say we're going to go actually try to change the world, but I just read someone's shirt over here. The people who are crazy enough to think they could do it are the people who usually do. And I'm certainly crazy enough to try.
That's awesome.
That's great. So, out of stealth mode 2 weeks ago.
Out of stealth mode 2 weeks ago.
Wearing a yellow badge means we're really kind of early in this thing.
Absolutely. We have an Indiegogo campaign actually that we're trying to get people to go to to sort of help us prove out market interest. We want people to come and show potential investors that this is an idea that people are really passionate about. Yeah. We've done pretty well so far. I think we're about 28% within the first couple weeks.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's pretty decent.
And what can people search for on Indiegogo to find your campaign?
Absolutely. So go to Indiegogo, look for Ultimatum or Ultimatum Incorporated. Our short URL is igg.me/@/ultimatum.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
And so, past that, once the Indiegogo campaign comes down, where do we go next? What can we expect on your roadmap?
Right.
Excellent. So, oh man, there's so much to talk about here. We have really, really, really big visions. We have. I don't want to be too big about it, but I think ultimately what we really want to do is be the de facto location on the internet where people go to engage with 501c3 nonprofits, and where the 501c3 nonprofits go to engage with their base. So we have some ideas that we've been floating around like, well, hey, you know what? If we have people donating 10 cents every time some real-world event happens to a particular charity, and that charity offers a membership program, once they hit the amount necessary to join the membership program, why don't we just automatically send out a membership package with stickers and a T-shirt and whatever? The 501c3s are sort of managing this themselves right now. There's no reason for it. This can be entirely automated, right?
Sure. Right.
They need to go about the business of doing their good work, not about the business of sending out T-shirts and stickers. So,
like me with social media. I don't want to be doing social media.
Right.
From our last interview, I don't want to be doing social media. I have people who do that because I don't want to get bogged down in that. There's other things that I'm good at.
Right.
There are other things that
There are
They're
things
the
you have
thing
to
that-
delegate, right?
Right.
Like I'm the CTO, my CEO and my CSO are here, and they're just things you have to delegate.
Yeah.
I can't spend all day worrying about our continuous deployment strategy and how we're securing our network infrastructure.
Yeah.
I have
Right.
to delegate that.
Yeah.
Right. It's you can't do everything all the time.
Absolutely. And so for a nonprofit, having an organization that they can delegate the stuff that's not their core competency to
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
is perfect.
And to be clear, I want to make it totally transparent here that we are not a services provider for 501c3s.
Right.
We are not in the business of taking money in the other direction. We're in the business of putting money in their pockets.
Sure.
And so we have some monetization strategies around that. We actually have one of our core concepts that we're sort of pushing is radical transparency. And that is, we want to be an organization where you can come and ask us, hey, what actually happened with all this money? What actually happened with these decisions that you made? Why did you choose to do this or that or the other thing? And we want to say, oh, yeah, let's open our books to you. Let's open up our boardroom to you. Let's talk seriously about the issues that we're tackling. We're currently incorporated as a C Corp in Delaware, but we're starting paperwork to become a B Corp. Okay. Where, if you're not familiar with a B Corp is an organization that not only has a duty to its board to increase profits, but has a duty to society to increase good, right? And so, we really want to be the organization that people can look to and say, you know what, this is an excellent model for doing good work in the world. Being a capitalist doesn't have to mean that you're taking advantage of everyone. We want to build a model where everybody wins and everyone can agree this is the right way to move forward.
And voting within the nonprofit world through your dollars
yeah,
is
that
the
really
way
is.
that market works.
Exactly, and it brings up the point of one of our sort of pitch messages is put your money where your mouth is. Everyone's a collectivist, right? They're sitting. Did I just blow your mind? Collectivist?
Twice in one interview. My head's exploded.
Everyone's a collectivist. Everyone wants to sit at their desk and click a button and share a post on Facebook and Twitter and talk about how upset they are.
Yeah.
But when you ask them to go out and do something about it, there's very little action that actually happens a lot of the time. And that's not to say that it doesn't happen, because there are a lot of great activists out there doing great work. Sure. But the people who are not engaging in this activism are sort of the demographic that we're sort of targeting. We're saying, yes, you care about these social issues. Maybe your economic situation isn't such that you can take a day off of work and go protest. Sure. Right. Maybe your life situation isn't such that you can afford the kind of luxuries that it requires to go forward and be an activist, right? We want those people to have a voice. We want those people's voices to be heard, and this is the model we came up for it.
I both really like the platform, and I love that word. I just saved it.
Collectivist?
Yeah, I just sent it to the control room.
I can't take credit for it, unfortunately.
It's okay. It doesn't matter. You're the one who brought it to us. And both of us seem to have loved that word.
It was great.
Wanted to make sure we didn't lose it.
I think I stole it from somebody else at some point. I fell in love with it too. It conveys perfectly the nature of the issue.
Yeah. So you guys are obviously an interesting group, wearing the purple jackets, and you with the hair, and there's another one with colored hair, and I love people with personality with a passion for something, which very clearly you do.
Well, thank you.
I have both.
I take that very deeply to heart. I'm as a person, I'm incredibly genuine. I always strive to be as genuine as I can be, as emotionally vulnerable and straightforward, and like meet everyone at their level as I can be. And I feel like that sort of outlook on life is kind of what helped us build this vision to begin with. Sure. Do you want to hear the story of how we came up with the idea?
Yes, please.
So first of all, I have to disclaim and say that as an organization, we're absolutely unbiased in terms of political issues. We don't want to push any narrative. We exist for democracy, period. As an individual, I tend to lean a little bit left to center. I am pro Planned Parenthood. I've used their services for health reasons on numerous occasions. And, back when I wasn't doing so well, that was one of the only service providers I could really go to for certain healthcare services. And, I used to see this doctor in San Mateo, California, had to park up the street. Every time I walked by the Planned Parenthood that was up the street, there was these protesters. And eventually I got kind of annoyed with it. Like, I was going to see my doctor, every couple weeks for a certain thing. Sure. And I was like, you know what, I don't want to see, these signs are really offensive. They're I don't. This isn't what I think society should look like, right? So
And they don't represent your personal reality.
they don't represent my
Right.
personal reality, yeah. So and my personal experience. So
Right.
I started going every time I saw them. Every time I went to my doctor's office, I would walk into the Planned Parenthood, donate $20, get a receipt, come out, hand it to them, and say, "I want you to know that I respect your speech, but I donated today because you were here," right? And that's a pretty powerful message. I mean, they got really upset with me whenever I did that, and they came to expect it after a while because, like, I did it every time, right? But I came to the epiphany that, like, I'm one guy. I'm one guy with $20, right? There are so many people out there with not $20 that could support this issue and actually move the bar. 1,000 people at 10 cents, that's an awful lot of money every day that they show up, right? That's $100 every single day that they show up. It's one of the angles to this that we sort of like play down a little bit, but is sort of important to acknowledge, is that what we're actually talking about is behavior modification via financial instrument, right? We're talking about modifying social behavior using finances as an instrument.
Sure.
And that's a pretty powerful tool. And one of the core messages that we try to deliver is that this is not about us. This is not about Ultimatum. We are a company that exists for people who want to move the bar, right? It's a power to the people platform. We're a power to the people company, and that's the bottom line.
That's awesome.
I can tell you and I are going to be staying in contact after this because you are fascinating.
Thank you.
So I like the product. Obviously, I like you guys. This is fun. I look forward to.
Here's my personal card for both of you guys.
Fantastic. I love this.
Yeah.
This is great. I'm so glad you were on the show.
I'm so glad I'm here too. Do you guys have any more questions, or do you want to?
Before we let you go, let people know where they can go to find out more about the platform and stuff.
Absolutely. So probably the best place to go right now is our Indiegogo campaign, igg.me/@/ultimatum. We also have sort of just a very slim marketing website up right now at ultimatum.cc. And you can reach out to us directly through our Indiegogo campaign or directly through our website. We try to maintain a 48-hour turnaround. We love having inbound questions. Grill us. Ask us hard questions. Make it challenging for us. Tell us about your concerns and your challenges. Tell us about the things that you're worried about. We are building this for you. Come talk to us. Let us know how we can help you out.
Wow, that was powerful.
Thank you
very much.
No problem.
We appreciate
Steve,
you taking the time
Absolutely. Yes,
to talk
Steve.
to us. And have a good rest of the show.
Absolutely. Will do. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.